Alright, looks like everything is going. Hello, everyone. How are you doing tonight? No Chrono Trigger tonight, since I'm still in a Final Fantasy XIV mood, so we're gonna be taking care of the final set of role quests. Let me go on ahead and post to social media and hope that Nightbot decides to respond tonight. Okay. Nightbot does not want to respond. Gotta give it a bit more time. Maybe the second command will let it. Excuse me. Oh wow, it posted it twice. Good. Okay. Oh, now that that's out of the way, let's go on ahead and head over here and take this quest so we can actually get our fortune told. Oops. Can I just go over here and get it told anyway, or... Oh, I can actually just get it drawn. Well, I want to do the quest anyway, because I want the prize from the quest. Alright. Well, let's see what kind of fortune that we get. What's our happy little potato gonna get? We paid the 100 gil, and we get to draw a fortune. I wonder what it's gonna be. Oh. Oh, no. Oh. Adventure. Thou shalt be made to wait to sally forth. With apologies, pray abide in patience. Does that mean I'm gonna have long queue times? Relationships. Vanity is the enemy of reputation. Stay true to thyself. Mood. Prosperity. Now is not the time to collect tomestones. When is it ever? No, thank you. My robot assistant that starts with the letter S went off. Conflict. In times of trial, allies must turn to each other for strength. And favor. Shouldst thou abide in duplicity, like unto the traitors, thou shalt be lost to trust. Jeez. Alright, well. I did not fare well. I might draw another one after I'm done with the quest, see if I get anything different. Alright, well. I've already done this quest, so I know the answers, so I know how to do it, so... Let's see. There is a singular thing that I'm wanting from this quest. My, you look ready for all manner of arduous journeys and feats of valor. An adventurer, perchance? I am he. Pray forgive my idle speculation. I'm known as the Hebi Bugyo, and along with my fellow delegates have come to these shores that we might share our Heaven's Turn custom with the fine folk of Eorzea. Both our peoples mark the turning of one year to the next, but how do we do so differs in a few key aspects. In Eorzean tradition, the 12 choose one of their number to guide the realm throughout the coming year. In the Far East, however, custom dictates we honor one of the 12 noble beasts. This year's totem is none other than the Hebi, although the term snake might be more familiar to Eorzean ears. Where I hail from, this off-reveled creature represents longevity and regeneration, owing to the miraculous manner in which the Hebi emerges anew time and time again after shedding its skin. That many and more may benefit from the noble beast's blessings. My fellow delegates and I have devised what we hope will be an entertaining little event. I present to you the inaugural Slithery Trivia Trial! Participants will win their way snake-like through the city streets and answer the questions posed by the trivia taskmasters they encounter. I see. I have bid my sisters, the three Hebi-Yoriki, await their charges at certain locations throughout Limsa Lominsa. Oh, she looks like she's asleep. And she looks a little uninterested. As for you, adventurer, I urge you seek them out and put your knowledge of Far Eastern customs to the test. And rest assured that an auspicious prize is yours for the taking should you succeed. Consider it a means of stocking up on good fortune before your next foray out into the world. How about it? Have I piqued your interest?
Yeah, you have.
But I know the prize, so that's definitely piqued my interest. Alright. This little event of ours is first and foremost about promoting insight and understanding. To that end, should you find yourself stumped during the quiz, simply say so and my sisters will provide a helpful hint. Also, if you want all the answers, just talk to the guy in red. He'll basically tell you a story which has all the answers that you're looking for. And you can refer back to it in the event tab of your chat. If it's the perfect score you seek, you may also wish to speak with the Hebi Doshin and acquire all the knowledge you need. I want the hat, though. The first quizmaster you shall face is the eldest of my younger sisters, the blue Hebi Yoriki. You'll find her a short distance north of here. Pray shed your misgivings and venture forth. Ah, like a snake. Because yeah, get it? Because they shed skin. You get it? You understand what the? All right, time to slither like a snake. Bracing ocean air, the hustle and the bustle. What a marvelous place. I too hope my dear sisters and I get a chance to do some sightseeing.
Hi, I'm here to take a quiz.
Oh, I keep getting caught up in the charms of this fair city. I have a question for you, Slithery Trivia Trial contender. Let me see. Ready? As you are no doubt aware, the snake is considered a most auspicious creature in my native Hingashi. But what blessing can one hope to receive from the humbled Hebi? The answer is fair fortune. Wonderful, simply wonderful. Snakes are indeed said to be bringers of fortune. By the way, there exists one scalekin in particular known to lavish extra helpings of luck upon those who encounter it, the Tsuchinoko. Where other serpents are sleek and slender, the Tsuchinoko is broad and bulbous. Alas, few have ever laid eyes upon its decidedly unsnake-like form. Anyhow, that brings my section of the quiz to an end. You'll find my younger sister, the yellow Hebi Yoriki, down by the Drowning Wench. Pay her a visit for the next round of the Slithery Trivia Trial. Alright, cool. Oh. Okay, I've got a guy with a Santa suit. It's gonna do this, speed things up. Poof! Poof! By the Kami, this city is absolutely packed with people. 'Tis enough to send you dizzy.
I'm here for a quiz.
Give me a moment, contender. You're aware the snake is a symbol of luck, yes? Well, some snakes are luckier than others, and they happen to have one thing in common, their color. Any guesses as to what that might be?
Would it happen to be white?
Very good. White is the correct answer. White snakes are rare, mystical creatures, hence the association with good fortune. But when it comes to rarity and mystique, there is one snake that deserves special mention, the elusive great white Tsuchinoko. In times past, people would pray to the lucky serpent in the hope of receiving its blessings. In the past 100 years or so, though, there hasn't been a single recorded sighting of the creature. Its excellence is all but a fable these days. Anyway, you just have one question left. Head over to the Bismarck to see my little sister, the red Hebioriki. Okay. Time to head to the restaurant. Oh god, that guy looks like he's gonna run you over. Ah, what heavenly smells! I must remember to visit the Bismarck and pick up a few tasty treats for my sisters.
Hi, I'm here for a quiz.
There you are, contender. I've been waiting for you. I hope you're ready for the last question. I assume you heard about how we Far Easterners used to revere the great white Tsuchinoko, yes? I'm guessing my sister also told you how there's been nary a sighting for over a century now. A crying shame, I tell you. Still, the people of Hingashi, being a resourceful people they are, found a suitable surrogate to pay respects to during the Heaven's Turn. Any ideas as to what they might have turned to? A Moogle! Eggs. No, it's rice cakes. Yeah, you just used Moogles. Rice cakes, precisely. To be honest with you, I'm surprised that the Eorzean would have an inkling. Color me impressed. Yeah, it's like I've done this before. When I say cake, you're probably thinking of something nice and light, but the rice cakes we decorate our homes with during Heaven's Turn in Higashi are rock hard. We take one pebbly, hard rice cake and stack it on top of another. You to use your imagination a little, but they're supposed to look like great white Tsuchinoko itself. Well, that brings us to the end of the slithery trivia trial. Thanks for taking part. We can't forget your prize now, can we? For your efforts, a gift born of the finest painstaking Higashi craftsmanship. And it'll be all yours in a matter of moments. Hold on, Blast, I could have sworn we had plenty left. Oh, that's not good. Under normal circumstances, you'd be walking away with an exquisite white Tsuchinoko ornament, positively overflowing with good fortune. But surrounded by all these enticing scents, I completely forgot to restock. My big sister's going to be livid. Well, looks like you have one left. Oh, it seems there was one left after all. Phew. Sorry about that. Anyhow, it's all yours. Oh, and it's impertinent to even ask, I know, but could I trouble you to tell my sister, the Hebi Bugyo, I mean, that I've run out of prizes? I'd happily fetch more myself, but I ought to stay here just in case another trivia challenger shows up. So, can I count on you? Yeah, sure. Much obliged. May the Kami guide you. Alright, well, I got my little prize. The white Tsuchinoko ornament. Awarded upon completion of the slithery trivia trial, this supposedly squidgy Far Eastern ornament is supposed to represent the revered great white Tsuchinoko. Right, that gets rid of your sprint if you change with it active.
I got my prize, but she's out of stock.
Am I to understand that my sister allowed prize supplies to run out and asked you to report this fact to me in her stead? Clearly, my efforts at disciplining her have fallen short of the mark. I must redouble my efforts. Please accept my sincere apologies. I shall send someone along forthwith to replenish our stocks. Okay. Oh, what have we here? Did you perhaps drop your prize? Huh? Oh my god. Take it in. Take it in all of its glory. I love it. I love it so much. Mochi, mochi. By the kami! Our prizes may be exquisitely crafted, but they are mere ornaments. They do not possess the faculty or speech or locomotion, I can assure you. Which leads me to think, could this be the fabled Great White Tsuchinoko of yore, unseen and unheard for generations? I think I'd live to see the day. What a wonderfully auspicious occasion this is. But I must say, it's passing strange that the Great White Tsuchinoko should appear in Eorzea of all places. Perhaps it found its way on board our delegation's vessel before we set sail. I love it. Perhaps you would be willing to take the creature with you on your journey. I think it said yes. Of course, for our delegation, the Sacred Serpent's coming is an event of great historical importance. Nevertheless, we cannot discount the notion that the Great White Tsuchinoko chose to appear before you in particular, that you might benefit from its blessings. Besides, it appears quite taken with you. I want to hug it. And of course, we have the ability to, draw a fortune. You have my heartfelt thanks for joining in with this humble endeavor of ours. May the hallowed Hebi guide you on the path of fortune till the heavens turn once again. We have a new minion. This thing will be with me throughout the rest of the stream. And throughout the rest of all of the streams. The Great White Serpent of Squidge. Delightfully squidgy and a veritable fountain of good fortune to boot. Alright, let's go to Minion Guide. Oh, wow, I've got quite a few. Where? There. Initially thought to be a mere ornament, the Hebi Bogio was just as surprised as you were when the squat snake-like creature began to move of its own accord. Revered in the Far East as a serpentine of bringer of luck, it must have wriggled on board a ship bound for the shores of Limsa Lamensa. I love it. Oh my god, it's squish. Okay, well, let's go on ahead and get another fortune, and then we'll move on. Alright, let's see what we get this time. Shaka, 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 shaka. Alright, let's see what we get. Did our luck change when we got the Tsuchinoko? Fair fortune. Rejoice in the 12, and thy rebels shall not go unrewarded. Thy comrades are thy treasures, cherish them well. Oh, it's telling me to buy a house in the game. Okay. There was one I was kind of hoping that I would get on this character, and it would have been funny as hell. But alas, I did not. And now we shall head over to the Crystarium in order to take care of the main event. But now I have the Great White Tsuchinoko, the Great Serpent of Squidge. I love it. I love this thing so much. Because it is another Great Serpent of Ronka. Alright. But now that we're done with that little detour, how about we go on ahead and finish off all of our role quests. With this guy right here, Granson. The tall, dark stranger is regarding you with a mixture of curiosity and approval. Can't say I've chatted with you before. Think I'd remember if I had. Seen your fair share of fighting, have you? I suppose so. And besides, I'm sure I'd have no secret designs. Name's Granson, bounty hunter by trade, mostly sin eaters. When I first laid eyes on you, I had a feeling you were a tough bastard. The sort that gets mistaken for that warrior of darkness folks have been talking about recently. That right? Easy, killer. Couldn't care less who you are or what you've done. The only thing I'm looking for these days is a like-minded partner. Someone willing to join me in the hunt for the biggest prize this side of Norvrent. Well, here are the details first. Thought that'd grab your attention. Dikaiosyn's the fiend I'm after. One of the so-called cardinal virtues, as folks won't call them. There were hopes that somehow the death of all three and the wardens might have put an end to Dikaiosyn, but alas no. Seems the rules that bind the other Sin Eaters don't apply to the virtues. Ah, so the dialogue does change if you take this on after beating the main scenario. Former warriors of light, the esteemed heroes who saved the realm a century ago. Dear old Brandon was one of them, I'm told. Stop me if you've heard all this before. Anyway, like his comrades, Brandon died in the process, only to return relatively recently as a Sin Eater. Better to torment we few who survived their mercy. Needless to say, I aim to put an end to all that. You've heard the pitch, so what's the answer? You interested in hunting Dikaiosyn with me? You bet your ass I am. Not a whit of hesitation. I like you, sinner. Nevertheless, I need to humor me to improve you're the dab hand I think you are. For my sake as well as yours. I've heard reports of stray Sin Eaters drifting close to the Crystarium. Come with me and put my mind at ease. Oh, straight to the point. I like it. Oh my god, you're actually fairly close to the gate. So much better than the spoiled brat that I had to deal with last time. It's actually a nice looking sword. Obviously he's a Dark Knight and he's just looking for a tank. There you are. Very good. Senators we're after were sighted west of Ancestor Gate, so we'll need to head through there before we begin our search. Oh, if you happen to have any objections to killing Edis for sport, remember that many were once innocent people. You'll be doing them a favor by putting them out of their misery. I know the situation. I'm granting him mercy. Alright, well. Excuse me, oh, well, you didn't like that. There we are. Oh, my warrior's definitely leveling up thanks to this quest line, so there goes the notion of trying to have all of my guys at level 80 by the time I start the next expansion. There we are. Satisfied? Satisfied? Good, clean work. It's clearly not your first time. Let's do this once more just to confirm it wasn't a fluke, though. Besides, the world could do with less sin it is. Follow me, it should be much further. Going awfully far away from the Crystarium. Are you sure you're not trying to lure me to my death? Well, at least there's no enemy nearby this one. And I can just take it without worrying. There we are. Yeah, that'll do. You're exactly the sort of man I've been looking for, and thank the gods for that. My apologies for subjecting you to such a silly test, but I'd rather not have an amateur's death on my conscience. Let's head back to the Wandering Stairs and make this official, shall we? Why the intensive test, I wonder? Is he just more thorough than the others, or is there some other reason that he'll tell me later on in the quest line? Oh, those must be the living areas right there. For a second, it felt like my mouse wasn't responding. Then we got some more over here. Oh yeah, let me see if I can see down below. Oh, it's just more, trees. Back to the markets. And then up the stairs to the bar. Hold on. Let me check something. Oh, okay. I'm getting a red dot on my mouse, which means the battery is low. So I guess it was more than just a feeling. Luckily, I've got a couple batteries left. I'll deal with that after I'm done with this quest, though. So, just to make sure you're still keen on our arrangement. Throat, will you join with me and hunt the dread fiend Dakaya sign and put an end to his accursed existence? I will. Excellent. Then it's settled. Now, every hunt begins with an investigation, and ours is no exception. The Kaizen can be rather difficult eater to pin down. But before we commence ours, we do well to attend to our respective preparations. Let me know when you're ready to proceed. Yay, I'm level 81. Alright, let me change the battery real quick. Hold on. Oh, I put it in the wrong way. No wonder. There we go. I've got a white light on it. That means the battery's good. Yay, it works again. Whee! Woo! I'll deal with that battery later. Alright. All set to embark on a great hunt through? Let us be about it. Before you ask, I've no intention of leading us out into the wilds without an inkling of Dakayasen's whereabouts. However, it may be a particularly large realm, even before the flood, but it'd take us a dozen lifetime to scour every nook and cranny. So we'll start by asking around a place I know for a fact Dakayasen has attacked before, the village of Riot in Kalusia. While I don't have a reason to believe he'll return, I'd like to think that the survivors might know something of value. After all, you can be sure that they haven't forgotten the day the bastard came through. So let's be off then. Oh, let's be off indeed. Alright, let's head over to Kalusia then. Why do I feel like I've known you from somewhere? You look very familiar. Well, anyway. Alright. I want you. Kalusia, let's go. Alright, we gotta go all the way over here. It's just double checking. Yep, no more quests over in Tomra. Comra. Tomra's over here. Alright, I'm here. Welcome to Riot. I reckon it might not seem like much to you, but to me... Oh, never mind. We'll save that conversation for after. Tracking down Dakayasen is what matters right now. Let's split up and ask after the bastard. About odds of turning up useful information that way, I'd wager. Alright, yeah, let's question the townsfolk. Hey, seen any sin eaters of the cardinal virtue variety? What do you want with me? Sin eater? The one that came and killed everyone? Oh gods, is he here? Then why are you talking out about him? Oh, I knew I should have stayed inside. There's nothing but death out here now. Death and horror and eaters and... Ah! Okay. Huh? Where'd you come from? What do you want with me?
It's asking about the cardinal virtue.
The Kaya sign. The thrice damned Ian is the spitting image of a Giott knight. That Kaya sign?
Yeah?
I can't help you. All I know is that when he came, he wicked white. If you'd seen the carnage, you would. I'm sorry, I can't talk about this. Oh wow. Sheesh, everyone is terrified, it seems. Hey, grandson, everyone is horrified. Well, learn anything with Sharon? No, just everyone's terrified. Wish I could say I'm surprised, but I'm not. What we saw that day, what he did to us, there's no moving on from that. What's your connection to this village, then? Well, I was planning to tell you the whole story eventually, but I suppose now's a good time as any. I was born and raised in Wright. Lacking any real prospects, I eked out a living as a hunter. Might have tried my hand at something more exciting had I not also been trying to provide for the love of my life, Melinda. It was about a year ago that she accepted a commission from this Yulmorn trader. Bloke dealt mostly in antiques, and he had his bracelet in need of restoration. Bloody old with a questionable provenance, but supposedly it once belonged to royalty or some such. The Fangs of Orthus, he called it. Me and her had been talking about tying the proverbial knot, buying land, building a home, that sort of thing. Around here, that might not take much, but it was still a lot more than we had, so when the trader made his offer, she didn't hesitate to say yes. I'd gone down to shipyards to pick up extra tools and materials she needed for the work. Quality stuff, but it paid for itself 10 times over. But when I got back to Wright, the Kaya sign had been busy. Spied at least a dozen newborn eaters fluttering about, trying to make sense of their new lot. The grandmother who lived next door and shared the fruits of her orchard with us. The gruff woodsman who brought firewood to our doorstep at the dead of winter. Both of them reduced to mindless fiends just like that. It wasn't time to mourn or think. I started looking for Melinda. And then there she was, alive and well. Our eyes met and I knew it was going to be alright. We ran her for each other and... even now, a year later, it doesn't feel real. One moment she was there, right there, in front of me. And the next she was... The Kaya sign knelt and took the Fangs of Orthus, then left, leading a host of Sin Eaters out of Wright. But Melinda, I just couldn't see her as anything else. She wouldn't budge, she just hovered there and stared, waiting for me to end it. Well, I could never say no to her. Not once in the years we've been together. Or all the time she'd welcome me with a bowl of hot stew. All the time she laughed at my crude jokes and gave me counsel when I was losing my way. For all that and more, I killed her. I swore then and there I'd have my vengeance. The Kaya sign would die by my hand. I carved the scars on my flesh to mirror the ones he left on my soul. An enduring reminder of the vow that I never dare stray from the path. Wow. That's heavy, bro. There, all done. No need to wallow in it. Wouldn't want my tragic yet trite tale to put you off our hunt. Still with me to the end, sinner? You got it. That's the spirit. Still, have some unfinished business here, so if you give me a moment before we resume, I'd be most grateful. Okay, moment's over. Let's go. Sorry to kept you waiting, sinner. I'm sure you're eager to get back to it, as am I. Trouble is, in your absence, I failed to turn up any information as to the whereabouts of the Kaya-san. You know, I'm not surprised considering I only left you alone for a couple seconds. There's one line of inquiry I've yet to pursue, though. The Fangs of Orthus. The bracelet my beloved was supposed to restore that the Eater took with him when he left Right. Sin Eaters are mindless fiends driven only by base instinct. Everyone knows that. They've no need for worldly possessions. Yet Takaya-san took the bracelet away, which can only mean that there's something unique about this particular antique. Or the sinless bastard's somehow different from the rest of his ilk. Either way, I think we need to learn more about the Fangs of Orthus, and I know just the man to ask. The Ulmorn trader who commissioned Melinda's services. Much as I'd like to question him myself, though, I don't think that's an option. Even though Takaya-san's attack a year ago is common knowledge, I doubt the trader will believe that an eater stole his precious trinket. He's more likely to accuse me of theft and have me clapped in irons. So I'm afraid you'll have to go in my stead, Throat. Melinda said he was a regular at the Beehive, so try looking for him there first. Why is it always lead back to Yulmore? Alright, well, let's go. We will learn that the Fangs of Orcus were actually very, very related to Brandon. Ah. What do I owe the pleasure that is your company?
It's asking about the Fangs of Orthus.
Fangs of Orthus, you say? Oh, very interesting. I should be glad to tell you everything I know, under the assumption that should you recover it, you'll see it return to its rightful owner at once. I purchased the bracelet from a traveling peddler who claimed it was a relic of Vobert, a glorious kingdom that fell with the flood like so many others. He spoke true from what I could tell, and I intended to sell it to a collector here for a tidy profit, after having it properly restored by an artisan in Right. Alas, she was one of the several casualties of a Sin Eater attack during which the Fangs of Orthus mysteriously vanished. I have, of course, been keeping in touch with several contacts on the off chance that the thief might attempt to sell it. They have not, regrettably, but a piece of similar design did recently surface on board Souk, I'm told. I was planning to dispatch an agent to investigate, but you seem more than capable of fulfilling that role. As for incentive, you may be assured that any information that aids me in the acquisition of the Fangs of Orthus or similar relics will be well rewarded. Okay. Well, goes back to the Fae Kingdom now. The former Kingdom of Vobert. So, what our industrial patron have to say?
It came from the Kingdom of Vobert.
So things have been stolen, eh? Just as well. We'd probably not know where to head next if it wasn't for his distrusting nature. If this piece of similar design is related to the Fangs of Orthus, then it might attract Takaya-san's attention. Assuming it hasn't already. Let's go.
Yay, we're heading back to Amarang.
Hello, desert. I have not really missed you. Whee! Fine weather we're having today in Mortsuk, isn't it? No such thing as a thing without value. That's the creed of these folk. We'll find no shortage of overtight trinkets here. Finding the right one, on the other hand, is the challenge, and I say divide and conquer as before. Alright. More questioning! We're gonna be getting into action sooner rather than later, though. I think the next quest is actually gonna have our, major encounter. Well met, how may I be of service to you?
Any Vulpurite trinkets?
Oh, a choker that once belonged to a Vulpurite royalty, you say? If only I had such a remarkable treasure in my possession, but no, I do not. In all my years, I have never even heard of someone unearthing such a thing. Ah. Oh, where's the other guy that I'm supposed to talk to? Oh, wow, you're over here. Cool. Alright, well, I think you got this area taken care of. Oh, well, here we are. Yes, you have business with me, traveler.
Got any, Vulpurite trinkets?
Ah, the Vulpurite choker. Is that what this fuss is all about? Then you're in luck, for my husband has yet to sell it. Once we realized how valuable it was, though, he insisted on carrying it with him at all times. If you're not willing to wait for him to return, you could try to find him at the ruins where he's scavenging for the relics. They're not far. Oh, okay, cool. Well, time to let Granson know. What news, friend?
Let's go over to some ruins.
Ha, to think it was that easy. You've the luck of the Fae. Funny you mention that. But we need to hurry. If my theory is correct, then so long as that scavenger is the choker, he's the talk of a Takaya-san. Oh, I can just teleport over to the end of Journey's Head, or I can just fly there and have it take a slightly bit longer. Weird. We're flying through these so far. Well, hopefully these scissor jaws don't look this way. Mercy! Mercy! Take whatever you want, but please don't kill me! I have a family! You.
Ah!
Great. Please. Please. Oh, only one thing we can do about this then. Let's do him a favor. Ah, that's what that sound was. Oh, you too. Shame he missed the fun. This one bit off more than he could chew. Probably because it was a newborn. You can tell by the lingering vestiges of intelligence itself. You can see it in their eyes. Like when Giott Don't tell me you saw him. Yeah, he got to the merchant before we could. Wicked white, and he took the choker too! Damn it all. Can't keep getting away with it. He can't keep getting away with it. It's just like right. I was too late to save him, just like I was too late to save her. But not again. Never again. I'll hunt it to the ends of the world, Dakai-san. Vengeance will be mine. Ahem. Right. Yes, neither the time nor the place. More eaters could be about. It's just... every time I cut one down, it reminds me of my first. Of her. I see. Well, looks like we're going to be staying a while in Mortsuk. We may have failed to stop him this time, but what matters is that we'll both live to see another day. Pity the scavenger didn't, and the wife doesn't yet know she's become a widow. Sod it, I'll tell her what happened. I've been there, so maybe it'll help me to find the right words. Not that there are ever any. Afterwards, I think I'll have a good think about a next step. Don't let me keep you from your other affairs, Throat. We'll speak again soon. Could that soon be now? Hey there, sinner. Broke the bad news to the widow of that scavenger while you were away. Oh, wow. You did that all while just standing there. She took it about as well as you'd expect. After she cried herself hoarse, I started asking her about the choker and where her husband had got it. Seems he and his mates took a trip to Ilmeg a year or so back, hoping to cart off all the Verbertite treasures they could carry from an untouched ruin they'd learned about. Of course, in their greed, and they neglected to account for the Fey folk who killed or drove mad most of them. Those who survived didn't come away empty-handed, though. In fact, they'd stumbled upon a remarkable find, 3 sacred treasures of the royal family. They escaped with 2, the Fangs of Orthus being one of them, which was sold by another scavenger to Yulmorn. Either that merchant you met at the Beehive or an agent of his, I'd wager. So the merchant gives it over to Melinda for restoration, after which Dakai-san attacks Right. Presumably because he's after it as well. Meanwhile, the scavenger here in Mortsuk keeps the choker, the Eyes of Orthus, locked away for safekeeping. When he finally decides to sell, this sinless bastard shows up again. Which brings us to the here and now. Damned if I know why, but at this point there's no denying that Dakai-san's been hunting the royal relics. And so, assuming he hasn't already claimed the third one, the Claws of Orthus, I'd say we should get our hands on it and then use it to lure him out of hiding. But to that end, we'll have to venture into the Fairy Kingdom ourselves. Those scavengers didn't receive the warmest welcome, and we're not like to be treated any better.
Actually, I've been away with the Fae for a time.
Why does that not surprise me? Well, if you and the Fae have an understanding, perhaps we can traverse their lands without worry. That settles it then. We'll head to Ilmeg and ask after this Verbertite ring.
Alrighty, to Ilmeg!
Alright, so it's not extra foggy to you, is it? If not, that's good. What a remarkably uneventful trip. I kept jumping at shadows waiting for the eaters of foul demons or worse to attack. Though that might be preferable to the faith, frankly. Well, they're not so bad once you get to know them. So we're gonna have to deal with them eventually if we're gonna find this ring. After all, the Numo were a part of Obertite society, and without their help, I'm not sure we'd even begin our search. Perhaps there's a village of some sort you can guide us to? Actually, yeah. Well, there's plenty. Plenty, eh? Well, very on. Very well, lead on, Sinner. You know what, I'm just gonna fly there. Something about your demeanor bespokes a question unasked. Have I the right of it? A ring that belonged to the royal family of Verbert. It was called the Claws of Orthus. But Verbert is long gone, as are the caretakers of the ring you seek. Who can say where it might have got to? Ah. Yeah, it has been a while. Alright, well, let's find another bloke to talk to. Ah. Yala Ul. Oh, hello there. You have questions for me? Claws of Orthus. It's a ring, you say. The name I've heard before, but I know nothing save that... Oh, Sewell served the royal family before the flood. Somewhat temperamental they are, but surely they will have knowledge of this treasure you seek. Oh, good. A temperamental Numo. Well, let's see then. Add yourself a conversation of 3. Learn anything interesting? Wide lad. So the Sul Ul is the one we ought to speak with, eh? Former servant of the royal family, which would mean they've lived well over a century. Bugger me. Well, let's hope they're talkative. I do not know you, yet you seem to know me. Oh no. Migraine again. A 5th was discovered yesterday. A young girl not yet of age, transformed into a misshapen beast like the others before her. As if we needed more proof of a pattern. At this rate, any citizen could be next. Tell me you've at least learned something from this one. I studied her remains myself. It was plain a powerful magic had been employed. Vestiges of the enchantment lingered long after. Culprit, I think, is not a man to be trifled with. That's all I can say for now, but you may rest assured that I will ascertain their identity along. My honor is court mage, I swear it. Until I do, however, I would implore that you and your fellow knights dispatch any who turn or show signs, without hesitation. But these are kith and kin. Should we not try to keep them alive until a way to reverse the transformation can be found? Your mercy would place countless others at risk. As a knight of Obert, did you not vow to serve all her people? Justice for the weakest among us, was it not? How many such innocents will die before you do what needs be done? It pains me deeply, Brandon, but the safety of the royal family is paramount. I fear to take anything less than the most drastic measures would be to invite death into this castle. Death is already here. Surely you must see that. I will not let it be whispered that Princess Saldria turned a blind eye to her people's suffering. These crimes are a tragedy that weighs upon every Vopertite soul, mine most of all, and that is why I will take charge of the investigation myself. My lady, be reasonable. You can't put yourself in harm's way. You have a responsibility to your subjects. So I am to gamble with their lives instead? Let them shield me while I alone take shelter and look down upon them from up on high? Yes, exactly. You are their princess. You are Brendan, yes? The new recruit? A rather promising one from what the captains told me. You will attend me personally. My lady! You heard me. I will not stand idly by when I have the power to make a difference. Together we will see justice done for all, as your vow and your princess demand. Lady Saldria, I understand. Forgive me my hesitation. My life and my sword are yours to command. I have great expectations for you. I trust you will not disappoint me. Right, there's no telling when our culprit will strike again, so we must begin our investigation at once. There are witnesses to be questioned, clues to be gathered. Come, come. Now? Lady Saldria! Lady Saldria! The stubborn child. I wish you the best of luck, Brendan. You will need it and more. Something about that mage is kind of evil. Hey, you alright? Oops. Not yet. The way you were holding your head as if racked by a terrible pain. What happened to you just now? Got a vision of your past. Lady Saldria! You saw her with your mind's eye, then it is as I suspected. You have the gift too. You are like Brandon. What do you mean he's like Brandon? Why have you come to me? What is it that you seek? We're gonna put down the cardinal virtue that, is taking the form of Brandon. I see, and for this hunt of yours you have come to Ilmeg in search of the claws of Orthus. I'm afraid this is no simple matter. First, I would know that you are capable of facing the eater you seek. Aye. There's a spot in a river not far from here from which I used to bathe, until a number of beasts grew equally fond of it. If you are the warrior you claim to be, they should pose no challenge whatsoever. Okay. So you want your bathing spot back. Got it. As for you, I have questions. Okay. Well, you go on ahead and get questioned by them. I'm gonna go on ahead and kill some beasts so they can get their bathing spot back. If I got any closer, I'd probably smell them. This is, yeah, the level 76 quest. Normally we'd have the flashback encounter at this level. But so far, all we've gotten is just a major flashback cutscene. So I'm thinking level 78 is when we're getting that encounter. Alright, there they are. And dead. Huh. I don't think I've ever seen this before. I just want to follow this. Hold on. Hello? I wonder what you're for. Oh, I see. Oh, okay, it's, alright, never mind then. I'm just gonna leave you two alone then. This is one that basically requires a large group of people to do, so, I'm just gonna go this way. Whew, that was close. The beasts are no more, then? Yeah, I got him. Good, good. I hadn't the heart to do it myself, though they were no ordinary beasts, but old friends who had survived the flood. Victims of the curse you heard us speak of in your vision. So the curse transforms people into monsters, like how sin eaters spawn more of their own kind. I would speak no more of this or matters until you have completed the task I set before you. This is not negotiable, grandson. Throde accepted my terms, and so must you. So secretive, both of you. Can't we all just speak plain? The comrade refuses to acknowledge his situation. This may take time, but I am patient, indeed. I have dealt with many stubborn children in my life. Alright, well, I think he's dealt with it now, so let's do this. Exemplary timing, Throat. It was not more than a moment ago that Branson returned, having at last obliged my humble request. Humble request, my ass. There's no one better than a Yulmorn aristocrat. This one's no better than a Yulmorn aristocrat, so accustomed to making others do their bidding. I tell you, there's something off-putting about taking orders from a dog. Yeah, you continue to give me cause to reconsiderating your hunt. Perhaps you should ask your questions. Fine. Throat said he saw a vision of you and Brandon look thick as thieves. You were friends, yay? Know what he's up to now? Brandon is dead. He died a century ago, together with his comrades in an attempt to halt the flood that they themselves set in motion. I presume you speak of the Eater that took possession of his corpse. Dakaya-san, aye. But unlike most Eaters, he's been doing more than roam about aimlessly. For some reason, he's been hunting down royal treasures of old Vobert. And he's been killing anyone who got in his way. Is he now? What irony. Even in death, he remains a slave to duty, a knight brave and true. He's a murderer, and I'll not hear it said otherwise. He ruined my life, killed my beloved right before my very eyes. Every night I go to bed dreaming of the day I'll take my revenge. Oh, I see. Truly you have suffered a terrible loss, but while your thirst for vengeance is quite natural and understandable, it is ultimately misguided. Usual behavior notwithstanding, Dakaya-san is nevertheless no more than an Eater. To hate him is to hate the sea that claims the ship, the disease that steals the child, the tremor that topples the home, the mindless force of nature that begets destruction driven by fragmented memory. Don't you dare make excuses for him. You think I wanted any of this? I grew up on a farm. I could barely wield a sword. Now I've got to kill one of the bloody cardinal virtues. Hate and anger and vengeance are all I've got now. My every waking moment is dedicated to plotting his death. It has to be. It has to be. So just tell us where the goddamn ring is and we'll be on our way. This is how it has to be, Who you have to be? Nay, I think not. You ask too much, demand far, far too much. And in exchange for what? This I cannot abide. Are you trying to barter with me, you little shite? Tell me what I want to know or I'll beat it out of you. Not a good idea, man. Back off, throat. I won't let anyone or anything stand between me and Melinda's murderer. Brandon was a dear friend. To know that neither disgraces his flesh and his memory pains me more than I can well express. It would bring me great comfort if you were to grant him peace. I should like to share with you a story, if you would be so kind as to join me in Giott. This is better of a point. Methinks he's letting vengeance get the better of him. Can I go through this? Yes, I can. Ah, here it is. All right, we're going into we're finally getting our encounter. "'Tis beautiful even now. A palace of forgotten dreams, but before it was Lingaya in the time of Vobert, it was ruinous Licht. The memory of mine in which you walked was a troubled time, when the people of our kingdom were preyed upon by an ambitious fool. Brandon, then a young knight who had only just won his spurs, had caught the eye of Princess Soldia, who chose him as her personal guardian. However, he was far too inexperienced and was unable to keep her safe when she ventured outside these walls on one of her investigations. For his failure, he was stripped of his knighthood and shortly thereafter quit Vobert. I thought I would never see him again. But then one day he returned, one of several wandering adventurers led by a man named Ardbert, who had accepted our invitation to look into the mysterious transformations, which had continued unabated in Brandon's absence. Lady Soldia was overjoyed, and for a time it was like nothing had changed. They spoke often and grew even closer. And then came the day when we learned the truth. When we learned that the architect of our kingdom's suffering was none other than the court mage, Tadric. Yep, knew he was evil. And here comes the flashback.
Oh, joy!
Ooh, looks like your guys' armor has improved. It's him, Brandon. I'm sorry. So am I. Come, let's have done with it. It was you, Tadric. Do not deny it. Tormenting our people, twisting and transforming them into monsters. And for what? Brandon. And after I took such pains to be rid of you. You may strip me of my titles, but not of my oaths. I shall serve Lady Soldia till my dying breath. As you like. Once I have killed you and your friends, there'll be no one left to stop me from claiming the throne. Hear me, my children, the hour of reckoning is at hand. Rejoice, for a noble sacrifice shall you find everlasting glory.
Lord Todrick, it hurts.
Soon you shall know no more pain. I was going to make it quick, for old time's sake. But now I think I ought to take my time. Alright, let's start playing as Paladin. Alright, well, we're playing as Paladin Light. Let's go. Okay. Alright, if you're gonna cast it, do it now, Nilebert. There we go. Keep on hitting 1-2, thinking that's gonna be the continuation of the combo. Oh, good. Interrupted. A little bit. Okay. Alright, let's get them all close. Hello. Alright, if you're gonna do it now. Oh, who'd have thought that she had crossbows, in her arsenal? Oh, bad choice, Tardrick. Oh, right. There we are. One down. Sheesh, you have, used up all of your bodies. Very smart. Very smart, my dude. There we are. Alright. Let's finish this bastard off. Two. Three. Yay! That was actually pretty straightforward. And we had everyone with us from the start. Meddlesome wretch, this kingdom is by rights mine. Brandon, what is the meaning of this? Taldrick, you. But why, after serving us faithfully for so many years? I am no servant. No servant. Not of your mother or father or you. My lady! God damn you! Lady Soldia, speak to me. Brandon, my dear brave Brandon, am I your princess still? Would you honor your vows even now? Now or never after, my lady. My sword is yours to command. That is well. With that I had the strength to wield it myself. Steel your heart, brave Brendan, and for the good of Vobert and her people. No, I cannot. I will not. Honor your vows to your kingdom, to your princess. Look at that size difference.
your friend, who never doubted you, who knew that you would return and see justice. Justice.
No, it should be me.
Brendan, my sword, now and ever after.
We've rounded up the rest of Todrick's co-conspirators and tossed them in the jail. The ones who hadn't been corrupted by his magics, that is. I'll not hesitate again. No matter the cost, no matter the sacrifice. She's been in every single one of those flashbacks. Yet there's no mention of her from any of the Warriors of Light.
Well, you saw what happened.
Yeah, weird how there's no mention of her from any of the other Warriors of Light, not even Ardbert. Wicked White, she begged him to do it like Milianda.
Come, let us quit this place and to return to Plaani.
Yeah, every mention of the Warriors of Light only mentions 5. With no mention of her. What is being left out of this big picture? I like how one of the names of the areas in this zone is Vobertenberg.
Do you know why I entered into the royal family service many long years ago? Because when I was attacked by a wild beast which nearly tore me to shreds, it was Lady Soldia who came to my rescue. She saved me, and that is a debt that can never be repaid, for there is naught in this world which holds greater value than life itself. Not even her depth absolves me of it, and so I must always first consider her wishes, her desires, what she would want for me and her kingdom, for Brandon, and yes, even for you, grandson. For me. To define oneself in the opposition to the other, an other bereft of complexity of nuance, wholly devoid of redeeming qualities, a villain, Indeed, there is comfort and certainty in hatred. But it is a false and fleeting comfort, bought with lies we tell ourselves about who we are, what we must be and what we must do. And never you mind the cost. If anything, the more we offer up and sacrifice, the better. Do you not see? Brendan was right to hesitate, to doubt. The unwavering blade cares not whom it serves, nor who it cuts.
I think I need a moment.
Perhaps you do as well. Leave us for now, Throat.
If it's alright with you, I'm kind of ready to go now.
Grandson, I have given you ample time to consider the path that has brought you here, and where it invariably leads to all who walk it.
I didn't know what to do after I lost Melinda. Ah, Melinda. I was adding an A. How to mourn her, how to live. I felt that if I put it all on Dakaiasine, put my everything into the hunt, that at least I wouldn't have to think about myself or what comes next. Wanted to hollow myself out, fill up that hole with hate, forget who I was. An irony of ironies, that's just what the poor bastard tried to do to himself a century ago too, isn't it? Heh. Hard men making hard choices. What rot. Hold on to Melinda and the memories you shared. Let that love guide you. You're right. I don't need the hate. Never did. I'll finish it for Melinda and for Brandon, and then I'll move on.
Move on, you say?
I can't live off hate. Shouldn't have made it this far, frankly. And the more I try to reach it, the more reach for it, the more I find sorrow, pity.
Cuss not fate, but mourn her victims. Remember the dead as they lived.
Aye, something like that. Reckon Throat would agree. And Melinda, if she were here, would probably slap me a dozen times and call me a bloody fool for acting the way I have. Or maybe you've been thinking about doing that in her stead, eh? I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I'll slap you for fun. Apologies for treating you with such disrespect before, Sewell. I'd like to claim I finally understand what you've been trying to tell me all this time, but I'm still getting my head around it.
Recognizing your faults is the first and most important step. I will tell you what I know of the Claws of Orthus. The ring, together with the bracelet and the choker, were 3 relics passed down through the royal family over generations, signifying the owner's right to rule. Princess Soldia was the last of her line, and after her death, they were stored in a sanctuary for safekeeping. However, a year ago, a band of thieves learned of its existence.
The ones who stole the fangs and eyes of Orthus.
Yes, the relics were concealed with magical wards. I can only presume that once they were spirited away, Dakaiasine was then able to sense their presence.
Even in death, a slave to duty, you said? You think he pursued the thieves out of an instinctive loyalty to his princess?
That I do. After all, he was content to leave them be so long as they remained hidden.
Only 2 of the 3 were taken, then the 3rd is still...
Claim the Claws of Orthus, and he will surely come for you, yes. Tim Gaius is where you must go. Once you arrive at the place I marked on your map, cast this powder into the air. The glamour will fade, and you will see the chest with the ring. The rest is up to you.
Thank you, Sewell. I promise we will bring your friend peace. With me, Senna.
And may you find peace as well, child.
I can kind of relate to Granson. If you do nothing but hate and letting that hate fuel you, you'll just burn yourself out prematurely. I've been trying not to let that fuel me as of late. No matter how much I hate that. I'm only getting older and my life is getting shorter as time goes on. Can't let hate be the #1 thing that fuels me. I'd rather put my hate, put my energy that I used to hate into something a little more productive. But if I come to face with one of those sources of my hate, then I will not hesitate to extinguish it. I'll leave it at that. Ooh, camera is lagging. Hold on a second. Boop, boop. Yep, it's working. Okay. Alright, well, we have our thing, so... Mushroom powder! You toss the powder into the air, and as it slowly settles to the earth as twinkling motes of light, Coffer begins to take shape, just as it starts raining. Alright, well. Oh, cool, they also have booze in here. Want to split it 50-50? This must be the claws of Orthus. All that's left is decide when and where we want to confront the Eater. Well, I don't think we have a choice in that matter. Or we could deal with it here and now. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Hey there, old man. I don't know you, and you don't know me, but I know your story. I know this isn't you, and I know that if Lady Solia was here, she'd say the same thing. It'll all be over soon, I promise you. Alright. Let's take out the final cardinal virtue. What's gonna be here? What's your first gimmick? Oh, I see. You left up. Oh, God. Ah, cool. Still alive, bitch. Oh, you've got these. Oh, I see. You've got these. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. And charge again. Almost got him. Oh, that's gonna hurt. I should have absorbed it first. There we go. Damn eater. Let him go. He's not your bloody puppet. Finally. You watching, Melinda? Huh. It's his old crystal. Now, and never after, my lady Saldia. My sword is yours to command. Brandon, still in there? Nah, looks like it's just a memory. I'll not hesitate again, no matter the cost, no matter the sacrifice. Wait, is he trapped in the memory still? You're wrong, Brendan. That's not what you would want. Let go of your anger. Let go of her. But that would make me lesser in your eyes, wouldn't it? Shoulder a burden that need not be mine. No, I will not forsake compassion and love. I will not dishonor your memory. Oh, my Lady Saltia. He's gone.
Oh, it's the other two treasures.
And with that, the three treasures of the royal family are reunited. Now we've just got to find a place to stick them so that no scavenger ever stumbles upon them again. Least we can do for the princess and her knight, am I right? Maybe Sulul will have some ideas. Let's head back to Plani.
Out of all the quest lines, this is probably the quickest one. Oh, and camera. There we go. Forgot to turn it back on. So, well, I'm wondering canonically which of those should have been done first. Like, I mean, chronologically. I banged my foot against the desk. Is it done? Brendan has been laid to rest?
You saw us when we arrived. Do you really have to ask?
Oh, no, I suppose not. Oh, my dear friend, I pray you have found peace. And what of you, grandson? Has the turmoil in your heart subsided at last?
I suppose so. To be honest, I felt like I had made my peace with him before we even fought.
Because you finally saw him for what he was, and accepted that truth into your heart. The battle was but an afterthought.
Easy for you to say. You didn't have to cross blades with the bloke. By the way, I brought you some gifts.
The 3 royal relics of Vilbert! Then Brendan was safeguarding both the bracelet and the choker.
Now it's your turn to look after the whole lot. That's what Lady Saldio and her knight would have wanted, I reckon.
Yes, of course. That the souls may sleep soundly forevermore, we shall enshrine these relics for all eternity.
Now that that's settled, I suppose we should be on our way. There's a detour I'll have to take, but afterwards I'd like to speak with you back at the usual spot in the Crystarium. Be well, Saul.
I think that one has a bright life ahead of him. Few can find the strength to overcome such terrible tragedy, but he did. As have you, on no few occasions, I'm sure.
Aye.
It has been a pleasure, Throat. Do visit me should you ever yearn to hear an old fool prattle on and on.
And I'm probably never gonna see you again. Okay, let's go. Let's go, Sushi. Back to the Crystarium. And then we have the the final warrior quest to finish off. Where is... Here. Boop. My computer monitor did that thing again. Alright, anyway. Well met, Sinner. Glad to see you made it back safe and sound. Having returned to where it all began, I can't help but think back to when I first came here, thinking only of Dakaya-san and my revenge. I was so wrapped up in my own personal affairs that I didn't realize I was only pushing others away. Glynard was the only one who saw through my facade. He's a perceptive one, eh? Took one look at me, and when I got back, and he broke into a smile. But enough about him. I have yet to thank you properly, Throat. I owe you so much for sticking with me to the end. So what's next for you, Sinner? Good question. Can't say I feel at home here or in Rite or anywhere else, so I might spend some time on the road. May not be as skilled a fighter as you, but I reckon I'm better than most. And there's always someone in need of a reliable sword hand. Melinda would want me to use my talents for a noble purpose, and helping folks in need fits the bill. Hells, isn't that what Brandon and his comrades wound up doing in the end? So, let's not call it a goodbye. Let's just say, until the next hunt. Wheresoever you go, may you fight shade, Sinner. You too. That's it! Yay! I did it all! Or did I? For you see, there is one final follow-up quest. But... how about we go on ahead and finish the warrior stuff first, and then I'll get back to this. So I believe... where I need to go... I'm trying to remember where exactly. Do I just head back to where I found Curious Gorge during all the warrior quests? Let's see. Yeah, right there. Yeah, I couldn't remember if I had to go to Camp Bronze Lake or over here. I'm glad my first attempt was good. My first guess is correct. I am glad. Oh, Throat, how long has it been? I've been dedicating myself wholly to my training for some time now, day after day after day, but I fear my progress has come to a halt of late. You look well, a fair bit stronger than I remember even. What's your secret, my friend? How have you grown so much more powerful? I got sucked into this portal and traveled to another world. I went toe-to-toe with this fellow called Giott. Wait. I can tell this is going to take a while. Since I've just finished my training, why don't we speak at length on dry land? Yeah, it might be a good idea so I don't look like I'm drowning. So there are more worlds than this, eh? That's a lot to take in. Miss Granson, you gods see the woman you love taken from you before your very eyes. No wonder he struggled so mightily to pick up the pieces of his life. After listening to your tale, I realized what it is I've been missing. The one thing I lack to spur me to even greater heights. 'Tis love! I've sent several misses to Dorgano, you see, but she's yet to respond even once. I've waited patiently, eagerly, but still no word has arrived. Fear has crept into my heart. Has she forgotten me? Has she met another? I cannot rest until I know the reason for her delay. I must know. This is no time for training. Nor can I afford to be patient. Granson's time with his beloved was cut short. Who's to say ours will not be as well, or worse, if it already has? It is decided. I will purchase passage on the next ship for the Far East and return to Azim's Steppe with all haste. I'm coming, Dorgano! Alright, that's good timing. Throat, how fortunate you're here. I've been looking all over for Curious Gorge. The Marauders Guild told me you trained near here, but I did not know you did as well. Yeah, I think you just missed Curious Gorge. What do you mean he's going to Steppe to see me because I never answered any of his missives? Is this a joke? No matter how many he sent, I would have never responded. Our people have no written tongue. Whatever reached us was probably fed to the goats. Anyway, let us hope that someone informs him of our arrival before he gets on a ship. As for why I've traveled all this way, it was at the behest of my father, who wished to thank you and Curious Gorge personally for fighting on our behalf. I am Loveson of the Quarrel, and you are Throat-Garot, the Khan who stood with my people against the Chagan. But that is not all, for you have helped my youngest daughter gain control over the will of Karash. No words can express the depth of my gratitude to you. You promised not to speak of Karash. But I must. My heart broke when she was marked as taken and exiled. Never again would I see her, I feared. But then she returned. Blood of my blood, master of Karash, my little girl. And it's all because of you. It's a father's job to embarrass his daughter. And thanks for your deeds. I wish to present you 30 horses. Father, no, this is not the way of Eorzea to give horses as thanks. And besides, he is a traveler. They would only be a burden. Oh, you can eat horses, can't you? I apologize, Khan. Now then, I must also express my gratitude to the others. Warriors of the Maelstrom, were they? I believe I recall the way. If you have time to spare, might you accompany us? Having traveled so long solely in the company of my father, I am finding him increasingly exhausting. I can see why. Yeah, the warrior quest line at the start of Stormblood is just a romantic comedy. And this is the conclusion of that romantic comedy. I love it. Alright, let's head to Lower Lenosha, to the dry docks. Hopefully before Curious Gorge just goes on a ship over to the Azim Steppe. He's so lost without anybody, honestly. Hey, any sign of Curious Gorge? It's a pleasure to see you again, Throat, as well as Dorgoro. I'm surprised to see her, as you doubtless are, and in the company of her father besides. I just realized the axe glam I've got is basically that model that the model that they're carrying, except mine's purple. I must insist that you accept a small token of my appreciation. I do not doubt my daughter was quite the handful. No less than 50 goats, I think. That should suffice for the imposition.
50 goats would be a far greater imposition, Father.
It really was no bother, sir. A pleasure, honestly. A regrettably short one at that. So much so that we were hoping that we might see her again, so you can imagine our surprise and our delight when you arrived. If not horses or goats, then... Wait, are you not the leaders of these warriors? Yet you do not carry an axe. Why is this? That is because I cannot. Not since I was defeated by mine own brother in battle. He had succumbed to his inner beast, your Karash, and struck a blow with such ferocity from which I have never fully recovered. But it is well that he did, for I too was in the thrall of the beast at the time. Had he not given his all, countless innocents may have died at my hand. It is not an unfamiliar story. Many a Corel has suffered a grievous injury which rendered them unable to fight. But I am Abu, a healer, and I can help you wield your axe once more. This is in your power. I did not think it was possible. It pains me to see a warrior who yet yearns to fight but cannot. Allow me to treat you as repayment for your kindness. Full glad am I to accept. Thank you, sir. Thank you. This treatment requires a quantity of shiver moss. While it is not native to your land, I believe a similar type grows here. Let us go and gather some. You'll not return to your training for now. Oi. I don't know about you, Throat, but I'm bloody excited. I love that it is canon that there are actual warriors in Maelstrom Command. Oh, okay. Thought I heard someone coming down down the stairs.
Do you have any siblings, Khan? I'm the youngest of 18 myself.
Oh my god. Well. Are any of them single? I mean, I'd be willing to meet one, or two, or three, if any of them are, if you have any sisters. No? Okay, I'll shut up. Most of which I spied on in this place not long ago. We will need a moderate amount for the ritual to heal Broken Mountain. You and Dorgono can both assist me in this. Look for mossy rocks nearby and shatter them with a heavy swing. Then gather up the shiver moss.
Ah, I remember this game. The Marauders were always breaking rocks to hone their skills. This'll be easy.
Use heavy swing on mossy boulders. Okay. Whoop! Hop! Hi-ya! I need one more boulder. There's a boulder. Ha ha ha! Whack! Alright, I'm back. Dorgano's still out there? Okay. Hey, any of your, daughters, single? Or, You wield your axe with great skill, Khan. May I have the shiver moss? Yes. Very good. Now, before my daughter returns, there's one other matter I must discuss with you. She is a grown woman, and as her father, I must think of her future, of marriage. Alas, she has shown no interest in any warriors of the corral. At first I thought none suited her, but then I began to wonder, was her mind made up? Had she already chosen a suitor? Realizing this, I had persuaded her to come with me to Eorzea, and now that we have met, I feel more certain than ever. Gorgono has fallen in love with a warrior of another land. And I could not be happier for her, for who could disapprove of the champion who stood against the Chagan? Throat Garot Khan of the Steppe, I will not oppose the union of you and Dorgono. I have offered you my blessing. Did I mention? Oh my. Okay. Oh, don't mind if I do. Oh, don't mind if I do. Hey, who are you to decide such things for me? I will not marry Throat. I've already chosen a suitor, and it's not him. Oh, I see. I was so certain that, so, who is this other? We will not discuss this any further. We have the moss, so now let us go and prepare for the ritual. I love all of those choices. Pray forgive me, Khan. I spoke out of turn. Dorgono was right. We should attend to the ritual and restore Broken Mountain to the warrior he was. Okay. Dang it, yeah. I mean, if Curious Gorge is too stupid to realize it, then, well, I'm always willing. Oh. Alright, well, I guess it does require you to be shirtless. I have brewed an elixir using the moss. Drink it now. Very good. Your body is ready. You must now receive the power of another great warrior. I can think of none more suitable than you, Khan. We must awaken the Karash within him once more. I bid you summon the strength of Father Azim and strike Broken Mountain with all your might. You bid him what now? All your might. Hold nothing back. Swing to kill. Anything less and he will be crippled or worse or die. Oh. Alright. What? Oh! Seven hells, what is this? This feeling I feel welling up deep within. This fire, this passion, this rage. Uh-oh. Beast stirs again. Its power is mine. It fills me with strength. Yet I remain in control. Huzzah! The strength never left you, my friend. The injury was not one of the flesh, but of the heart. Trickery of the mind, a deception of the self. The elixir served only to steal your flesh and dull the pain, so you could stand fast against the Khan's axe. You will not need it again, for the fear that held you hostage has fled. I see. It was in my head all this time. It's no secret that fear can cripple a man worse than any wound, but I never thought... Gosh, what a fool I've been. Thank you so much for helping me to overcome my foolishness, Love-san. You've made me a warrior again. Thank him, for a warrior of surpassing strength and power is indispensable for this ritual. None other could have served as well. Why, there is no greater warrior than Throat. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. How could you, Throat? You and Dorgano all this time? It all makes sense now. The letters, the silence, it was you! Curious Gorge, what is this nonsense you speak? What's gotten into you? Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no, you don't, you stupid fool! Just a thud like that. I love the warrior quest line. Whatever. I'm so sorry, everyone. When I went to the docks to find a ship bound for the Far East, I ran into some marauders who told me Dorgano her father had come. So overcome by joy, I began searching for them at once. But when I finally found you here, and saw how you looked on Throat with such joy, all my earlier fears came rushing back, and the beast within me seized control. And it better not happen again. You're lucky I held back. This time I won't. And brother, is it true you fully recovered? You're a warrior reborn? Congratulations, it's like a dream come true.
Indeed, brother, indeed. At first I struggled to believe it, but it is as Liv-san says. I must go and join in the training sessions at once, and do not fear, the beast will not claim me again.
I cannot thank you enough, Love-san. It has been longer than I can remember since my brother smiled, so you've given us such a gift.
It is the least I could do after all you have done for my daughter. Thank you for your kindness and your hospitality. Our time is short, however, and we must be on our way. Having said that, Dorgano, I am reminded that you are still young and want for experience. You are not yet a warrior fit to wed, so I bid you continue to strengthen your body and mind here, in this land. It suits you, I think.
I think that was his way of saying, yeah, go on ahead and get married. Did you hear that? I can stay. We can even train together. I can show you all the techniques we Corel use to hone our skills. On the battlefield, right? On the battlefield, right? Right? I can show you all the skills. I can show you all the techniques we Corel use to hone our skills. Aye, but first I must teach you my methods. You must come with me to Hidden Falls right this instant. You too, Throat. I have a few final words I wish to say to you there. Yeah, the warrior questline is one of my favorites. Oh, my achievement score went up. Wait a second. Oh my god. That's a house reference. Hold on, hold on. Oh my god. Look at that.
You're an inspiration, Throat. An ideal I'll surpass one day yet.
I trusted you understand what this means, my friend. Now that my brother has taken up the axe again, the competition for the title of Eorzea's greatest warrior will be that much more intense. Don't forget I'm in the running too, you know. So keep at it, warrior, for the time will come when we challenge you again. Okay. Well, met Khan, our training is as intense as ever, but we'd welcome another axe. Care to join the fray? I'll leave you two lovebirds to it. Alright, and that's all of the final job quests that I have for all the jobs I have on this character. So, how about we go on ahead and take care of the conclusion to this? Oh, that isn't the Grey Hunter himself. Huh? As if you don't know, all four of the cardinal virtues laid low, all with your help. You're the talk of the stairs, Throat. When the night returned to Lakeland, we knew in our hearts that change was on the horizon, but never did I dare hope that you might help rid us all of those terrible fiends. You've surpassed my wildest expectations. Aw, you're making me blush.
Not mine, Gilnard. When I first laid eyes on him, I had an inkling that he was the hero we'd been waiting to come along.
Easy to claim after the fact. If you'd indulge me, though, I'd love to hear you tell how it all played out, the hunting of the virtues, that is.
Okay, well, hope you got a while. And a couple of drinks.
My word, there's so much more to it than I realized. And there I thought you'd only had to track down the bloody things. Gods, though. The things you learned about the Warriors of Light. So many secrets and details lost over time. For all their hard work and sacrifice, they somehow brought about the flood? Can't say I understand it all, but it's a bloody tragedy, it is. We should gather the others and toast their memories. Heroes of Eld, brave and true, to be remembered forevermore.
Now, I'll thank you not to let your bleeding heart drive you to offer up a fortnight's stock of spirits. Attend to your other customers and let me speak with the hero of here and now.
Whatever would I do without your good sense and wisdom? Very well. I'll leave you to entertain him, but don't think we won't be having that drink someday.
Throat, I must thank you for sharing with us such incredible tales. 'Tis only right that I repay you in kind. With the ending, that is. With the story of the true villain who towers above the virtues. The devil more deserving of death than any that yet lingers in this world. If your curiosity has been piqued, then meet with me atop the balcony overlooking the crystalline mean. I'll be waiting there until you do.
Alright. came as I knew you would. Never met a mystery you could leave well enough alone, or a demon that you could let live, am I right? And this demon is undeniably deserving of death. Make no mistake, to cut them down would be just improper, the act of a goodly person, and that is just what you are. I can see that. No need to grow impatient or be offended, my friend. But before you pass judgment on this villain, you must first understand their part in everything. Who they were to the fallen warriors of light, for instance. Of course, right about now you must be wondering how I know what I know. What a tavern wench of all people has got to do with any of this? Let me tell you then. I am the one who brought together the Virtue Hunters. I am the one who marked you as a potential ally to them and bade you join them in their quests. I alone knew what had to be done, and what sort of sinner would be needed to see this tale of tragedy and betrayal brought to an end. But come, we have many malms ahead of us still. To Kalusia and the Codger's Crook. I'll go on ahead and wait for you there. So, if you couldn't tell by now, she's looking awfully familiar right about now, isn't she? Alright, so we're heading to Kalusia. And there is a very, very good reason for that. Oh, I see you changed clothes. Good. You are accustomed to life on the road, I see. As am I. Do you recognize this place? I thought you might. Here is where it began, where Ardbert first met Lamet. Still young and lacking in experience, but possessed of so much potential. Heroes in the making. Even then the keen-eyed could see. They would only fulfill that promise much later, though, after joining with their other dear companions, Brendan and Renderay. And one other, an elven woman, not half bad with a sword. But perhaps you're already asking the question, who? There were 5 warriors of light in all, but she would make 6. Indeed, after adding in Nalbert, there does seem to be one too many. But believe me when I say there was indeed a 6th adventurer lost to history, and her name was Silva. Though I doubt I need to convince you of this truth. When you walked in the Virtue's memories, you saw her time and time again, did you not? Then you saw the true villain, the traitor responsible for all their woes. Let us continue the story elsewhere, to Amarang in the Fields of Amber. You saw the true villain's face in their memories, and I told you her name and Kalusia. But what were her crimes, you ask? Hearken to my tale and you'll learn. Silva had joined the others before they had first met Nalbert. After their party of 5 came to this place, they took on a commission to slay a powerful beast that had taken up residence in the mines. Said beast was believed to be the instigator of ever more terrible tremors, and so time was of the essence. But during their hurried search, they crossed paths with their future companion, then a competitor aiming to usurp their prize. After another tremor triggered by the beast trapped them all underground, they had no choice but to work together to lay it low. But to their dismay, even after its death, the earth continued to shudder violently. As the adventurers looked to each other in confusion, Nalbert strode toward the beast's body and grabbed a hold of a curious stone. A stone brimming with untold ether that he had sought out that he might harness its potential to rescue a loved one lost to the rift. But so powerful was the stone that it warped the flow of the life stream. Its very existence was a threat, and so when faced with the choice between one life and countless others, Nalbert wept and shattered the stone. He had held his comrade's salvation in his hand and cast it aside for the greater good. For his sacrifice, he was judged a hero, and in that instant, a warrior of light was born. In life, Nalbert was a pragmatic figure whose wisdom and sagacity were admired by all. Little wonder that in death he would retain his virtue. But as Nalbert mourned the friend he forever lost, the betrayer Silva looked on in silent contentment, for they had taken the first step on their path toward becoming the heroes brave and true. His sacrifice had sparked the transformation, which was fuel for the ritual to come. What ritual, you may wonder? Fear not, all will become clear in time. Come with me to Raktika, to the city of swamps. We must retrace the steps as they were taken to understand the depth of her treachery. It's nighttime, so we don't get lahi. This place too is familiar to you, know? From days recent and long since past. After the events in Amarang, Ardbert and his comrades grew in fame, spurring others to entreat their aid. The adventurers sought out greater and greater challenges, and in pursuit of another they came to Raktika. While here, the hunter Renda Ray learned of the notorious mark Balam Quits was near. And so, under cover of darkness, she slipped away from the others to slay the beast by herself. Like Nalbert before, of course, you already know what her motive was. Balam Quits had robbed her of her fellow hunters. Only vengeance would redress the balance. Moreover, she would not dare risk the lives of her new comrades, so terrified was she of the mere possibility that she might have to relive that terrible day. And so she faced Balam Quits alone, and would have surely died for it, had Ardbert and the others not arrived in time to help. Like Nalbert before, of course, you already know what happened next. For her love, her conviction, and her resolve, she was chosen by Hydaelyn. And from that day forward, Rendere swore never again to betray her comrades' trust, to share with them their triumphs and the tragedies, to relinquish the freedom she had once held in the highest. The bravest and most courageous hunter that ever was. That moment would define what she became in life and in death. Her sacrifice would hasten the transformation. 'Twas fuel for the ritual to come. The betrayer Silva looked on, yet more satisfied. They were oblivious to her machinations, unaware that they were dancing to her tune. Their journeys continued, and so must ours, to Ilmeg and Lingaya. You starting to catch on? Starting to catch on about who she really is. I'm actually going to complete this as... Wait, who has the least amount of experience at this level? Wow. I'm going to go on ahead and complete these as Red Mage. I'm going to turn into this quest as a Red Mage then. Everyone is so close. Except Warrior, who's at level 81. That is actually a beautiful sight right there. As beautiful now as it was then. You saw it too, would you not agree? With the death of Balam Quits, the legend of Ardbert and his comrades had grown larger than ever. Thus emboldened, they came to the kingdom of Vobert. Vobert had long been troubled by what some had dubbed a magical plague, innocents found transformed into misshapen fiends that the kingdom's knights had no choice but to put down ere the contagion spread. Brandon had been one such knight. In his youth, he had served the Princess Saldia faithfully, only to be cast out for a single mistake. Thus did he take to the road where he met Ardbert and the others. Having grown stronger and wiser and more respected, Brandon felt it was time to return and redeem himself, and with the aid of his comrades, he did just that. Tadric, the court mage, was unmasked, and the mastermind of Vobert's misery was unmasked as the mastermind of Vobert's misery, and by disgraced knight's blade was he brought to justice. But with his dying breath, Tadric cursed the Princess Saldia, sentencing her to a fate worse than death. And at her behest did he raise up his blade, and for the sake of the kingdom, strike down his liege lady. With that single stroke he forever changed, though nearly not in the way that was necessary. He stood at the precipice and almost forsook his compassion for unflinching judgment, but mercifully turned aside at the last. Thus did he find and embrace true justice, that which weighs law and heart together and strives for the greater good. 'Tis a long, difficult road from which many stray, settling for simple moralities, but I would expect no less of the man who became Dakayasign. His sacrifice would strengthen the transformation. 'Twas fuel for the ritual to come. As her companions grew ever more powerful, so too did the betrayer Silva. Bit by bit, they brought her closer to her goal. But it was not yet finished. To Kalusia they returned, and so must we. Tamara and the next chapter of our tale await. So, if I wanted to do these in the order she's talking about, it would have had to have been caster, then physical DPS, then tank, and then healer last. But that's fine. Look at that hammer. Slowly but surely, the adventurers were fulfilling their potential. Word of their deeds in Thobert spread like wildfire, and their legend grew even larger. But for all their successes, the fledgling heroes would be forced to endure more hardship and welcome more sacrifice. They pressed deeper into the depths of Raktika, toward the ancient Ronka. 'Twas there that the dwarf Lamech came to a crossroads, for in claiming the magic she desperately desired, she would be forced to renounce something equally precious. Dwarves are a reclusive lot, wont to withdraw from the outside world that their many traditions might be preserved in isolation. When the stone blight began to spread, they chose to lock away the afflicted and refused to seek outside help. But Lamech would not abide this. She vowed to save her ailing kin, her sister among them, even if it meant violating dwarven law. With her newfound power, she returned and cured the sick, and for this she was banished by the Council of Elders. This came as no surprise, for she had made her peace with it long before. When she stood in that ancient ruin and called upon the forgotten guardians to grant her forbidden knowledge, she knew then what the price would be. She had weighed her traditions and identity against the lives of those she loved and made her choice, though it pained her terribly and in ways only a dwarf could understand. And Hydaelyn, it would seem. Through hardship and sacrifice was a new warrior of life forged, a healer that knew more than any the value of life, and would do anything to see it preserved, even in death. Her sacrifice would nearly complete the transformation. 'Twas fuel for the ritual to come. Very soon then, very soon. For Ardbert and his comrades had stumbled upon evidence of the larger design, threads linking together the disparate troubles of the realm. A name spoken only in whispers, the Shadowkeeper, a singular force sowing chaos and discord through Norvrent to an unknown end. If the Warriors of Light truly wished to save their world, then they would need to confront this villain amongst villains. And in the end of their exhaustive search, and at the end of their struggle, who do you think they found waiting to welcome them with open arms? The answer to that awaits us in Lakeland, our final destination. The villain yet walks among us, Throat, unknown and unpunished. Go on ahead and wait for me at Laxton Loft. There are preparations to which I must first attend. Alright, we're heading to Fort Job. Alright. Well, who's gonna be waiting for us? Yep. It was the barmaid. Oh, not again. Yay, they have their artifact armor now.
Damn you, Silva! We were comrades in arms, friends!
That we were and that we are. Everything I said, everything I felt, it was all true. You mean the world to me. You're the bloody Shadowkeeper. What in the hells was this for? For you, for every one of you, to forge you into heroes worthy of her blessing, that she might choose you as her champions. A ruthless mage consumed by the pursuit of power to save his friend no matter the cost. By a sacrifice, a warrior born. A mournful hunter scarred by tragedy, resolved never again to trust in others. By her sacrifice, a warrior born. A disgraced knight who yearned to steal his heart in the injustice's name. By his sacrifice, a warrior born. A troubled healer torn between tradition and love. By her sacrifice, a warrior born. And their leader, an adventurer with a heart overflowing with love for his dearest comrades, who must now bring in his axe to bear against his own. By his sacrifice, a warrior born. I am the villain you seek, the keeper of the shadows from a world shrouded in dark. By our struggle will this world be shattered and its soul saved. Silva! Saw it all, did you? I thought you might. Mother's gift has a knack for showing us exactly what we need to see, if not what we want to, or when. They knew me as Silva, but my real name? It doesn't matter. Like you, I'm not of this world. I crossed the rift and came to the first. My home, the 13th, fell to dark in a calamity that mirrored the one which nearly claimed this world. I was one of several heroes who failed to save it. The boy, Unukalai, I have glimpsed him in your memories. He was a friend. Like him, I heeded the words of the Assassins, and, that I might redress the balance, I chose to come here and hasten the rejoining of worlds. A shard subsumed by dark demands a mirror of blinding light. Primordial forces will strive to achieve equilibrium, but there was a solution, a single solution, I believed. Were a flood of light to consume the shard in its entirety, it would be of no use. The Assassins made it clear that it must be brought to the brink, but no further. The task was difficult, but the plan simple. Souls predisposed to light, fledgling heroes in the making. I would bring together Ardbert and his comrades and groom them for a higher purpose. I would play the part of comrade and guide their course, all the while laboring in secret to pit stronger and stronger enemies against them, until finally once they were the warriors of light, brave and true, I would reveal myself as a warrior of darkness and extinguish their radiance forever. Thus would this world be primed for a rejoining, and the source for a calamity. The Assassins who called themselves Mitrin and Logrif were confident it would succeed, and indeed, Ardbert and the others rose to the occasion, as I knew they would. It was not meant to be. I had misjudged Ardbert. His comrades before him had made their sacrifices in turn, and as their mirror, I had grown stronger for it. Had he embraced his role and struck me down, victory would have been mine. But Ardbert, dear Ardbert, would not forsake his heart. In the end, he chose mercy. He chose love, and I was undone. The rest you know.
He sought out Mitrin and Logriff and granted them what he refused me. They accomplished everything they set out to achieve, and then the flood came and washed it away. In the wake of my betrayal, I would look on from the shadows and reflect on my many sins as all fell to ruin. Denied death then and now, and perhaps ever after, a fragment of my essence endures. But then, one day years ago, my fallen comrades rose again as the cardinal virtues. It coincided with the arrival of the first scions, I later realized. A defense against the forces being marshaled to undo my failure. I can but assume the Ascians planted this idea in Valthry's head. They were his creations, after all, and with their graves in Yulmoran territory, it was doubtless a simple matter to have their bodies exhumed and prepared. Who am I to speak, you may think, when I say this, but when I saw these abominations he had wrought in their image, I was filled with such despair, such anger. I cannot unwrite the past. My soul is stained with the blackest sin, and I will not pretend that it can ever be undone. But this I could not ignore. If the Ascians were going to such lengths, then surely the others would cross the rift in due time, and so I hatched a plan. I would assume the guise of Ciela and take up residence in the Crystarium, where I would take measures to bring together the most ambitious of adventurers, individuals driven by more than mere coin, virtue hunters. That way, when the enemy the Ascians feared more than any came to the first, the stage would be set. They would join in the hunter's quest, and together unmake Valthry's simulacra and lay their souls to rest once more. And so you did, Throat. The virtues are no more, but one ultimately responsible for their creation. The devil who sent them on their doomed path lingers still. You know all there is to know of the heroes who saved this world. The truth I kept hidden in the shadows is yours, and there are no more secrets to share. And so I ask you now to grant me that which Ardbert could not. Death. You still have a duty to others. It is not mine to grant you death. No, don't do this! Don't spare me like he did! How can you stand there and say I deserve to live, knowing everything I did, the lives I destroyed, the chaos I wrought? The Warden's pale in comparison. Surely there's no greater villain than the Shadowkeeper. Which is why you must live to atone for your deeds. I should have expected a hero would say something like that. How does one even seek atonement? 'Tis an undiscovered country with no charts or stars to guide. How will I even know when I find it? Perhaps I may yet find purpose in preserving my comrade's legacy, in helping others to understand the sacrifices that made them true heroes. For now, I shall return to the Crystarium and continue to assist Gelnard, while spreading the forgotten tales of the Warriors of Light. You would have been good friends, you and Ardbert, in another life. Maybe you and I as well. Yeah, there's a secret I've been keeping from you, too. We're already good friends. In fact, you could say that Ardbert and I are inseparable. Did not expect this last quest to take this long. But we're almost done. I also didn't plan on taking care of the wrap-up quest for all the roles, for all the role quest lines this stream. I just don't know when would be a good time for me to stream it, so I figure why not just do it with the last role quest line. Alright, so I'm gonna go on ahead and get this experience as a red mage. Up these stairs. I tell you, I am not at all accustomed to wearing armor any longer. Simply moving about in it is enough to tax my strength, and fighting, any one of Captain Lena's recruits could probably put me flat on my back. Fortunately, I needn't rely on my sword to spread the truth of my fallen comrades' deeds. Only words and the passage of time will see their legacy redeemed in the eyes of the people. Thank you for accompanying me on my journey of remembrance through. May your deeds ever be remembered and celebrated, as all heroes deserve. I think I'll take care of this quest next time I stream Final Fantasy XIV. We'll take care of this one. We'll take care of this follow-up quest before I start the MSQ. So for now, we're finally done. I'm gonna stop the recording on my end. I'm planning to get back to Chrono Trigger next week, and I'm going to go on ahead and start doing patch 5.4's MSQ next week as well. Just I just don't know when either of those streams is going to be next week. I could be doing Chrono Trigger first, or I could be doing the MSQ first. I don't know which yet. So I'll work on deciding that, and then I'll get back to you guys on Monday or Tuesday. So until then, thank you for watching, and take it easy, and stay warm and safe if you're in an area that's very cold or experiencing fires like in California. Seriously, stay safe if you're in the area. Alright, have a good night, everyone.